Alright, so I'm trying this video response thing because I don't have the time to type out what I thought I wanted to say in the comment section, so I'll respond with a video message referring to Clay's post. And man, it's an interesting question when, I was kind of just pondering on, hey, it's true, like the streets are paved with gold, so pure that you can see right through them, the pearly gates and everything about heaven. It's just beautiful and emeralds and rubies and stones and colors that we've never seen before. And man, I was just pondering on that, and though I agree that the reality of heaven needs to be established on earth, right? As it is in heaven, let it be on earth, right? So we're supposed to create the culture of heaven on earth. That is the call, and there's no sickness, there's no lack in heaven. So that could be providing somebody, a homeless person, a loaf of bread, or a family, a place to live, or giving money to, whatever it is, or whatever resources someone needs to have, whatever the lack is. It could be a physical lack, a disease, a sickness. That in heaven there is no disease, there is no sickness. So we can speak that over people, and they can get healed, and we can fulfill that lack. And prosperity, this whole prosperity message thing that we're going to have all these things here on earth, and the reality, I'm still searching that out. I'm still saying, all right, God, I see the poor, I see the oppressed, and I know we go in there and we can provide, and we can provide with financial, we can provide with resources that we have, and and not everybody has a lot of money. And in fact, if you make more than $10,000, you're richer than 90% of the world, because that's $10,000 is the average as far as what a family brings in their home and all over the world. So we definitely live in a prospering country. So when I was really pondering on the whole heaven and the reality of heaven, of gold, and I don't know if it's true, it's just me pondering, and my comment is that I think what God's saying is like, look, you guys are going after these things of these earth, of gold and silver and the currency that we, it's supposed to be backed by gold, right? The dollar and the riches of earth. And I use, we use wood and brick and concrete and metal to build homes, right? And plastics and all that stuff. And we don't go over there and try to steal brick and go sell it on the street, and we really don't see value in the brick itself, or the mortar, or the whatever it is, right? We don't see value in the concrete. Like, I'm driving on the concrete, and I'm not looking like, oh, how can I chip away the concrete and put it on eBay or whatever and sell it because of the value. Obviously it's valuable because I'm driving on it and it's a smooth ride, but it's not like a value where I'm going after the riches of concrete, after the riches of brick. So I feel like what God's saying is, you guys are all into, the riches of this earth. I use the riches of this earth to pave and to create heaven. Like it's like, I look at it and it's not like, it's an everyday thing. It's a material that we just use as a day of life. So why are you so focused on the riches, and in heaven we use it to pave the road? So what you call riches as very, riches is very, it's not, 3% of the world are millionaires, right? So, or I won't say 1%. So it's a very few amount, but yet we're going after that. But the 1% of earth that people are going after is 100% of heaven. Like, it's everywhere. So you're not going to be wooed or wowed of everything you see here on earth. In heaven, because it's everywhere. We're here, the very few. So I think what God's saying when he's saying, I have the riches in heaven, saying, stop worrying about that, because we're only here temporary. Like, I have that for you in heaven. I have the riches, the things that you call. It's going to be everywhere where you're not even going to worry about it. You're going to be so focused on the glory that I bring, the love and the purity and the holiness, that you're going to be a part of the atmosphere, the peace, the joy, the love, everything that heaven brings. That's going to be way more valuable, way more than the gold that's paved, right? The street that's paved in gold, the pearly gates, the rubies and the diamonds, the sapphire, everything. So don't worry about those things. Those are my building materials, like you have building materials here. So I think that's what I feel God is saying when he says about it. He's not bragging per se, like this is heaven. He's saying, man, I have the best for you. What's hard to get in earth, what's hard to see, and what's not a lot of, we have plenty of in heaven. So don't even worry about those things. Those things are coming. Focus on the character. Focus on that I love you. Focus on the presence of the Father truly being here on earth with us, co-laboring, right? That's the focus, right? Prosperity is in Him. Knowing Him is prosperity, because in Him there will be no lack, right? In Him, the reality of heaven could be possible within arm's reach, right? So I feel like that's what I would comment in a 5-minute video versus typing all those thoughts out. So I hope I chimed in what you said, and really the goal, I think, is not in prosperity, it's not in getting things, it's not in being successful. I think that the goal is knowing God, because outside of knowing God, everything else is pointless, right? Outside of knowing the love that He has for us, it's pointless. Outside of what Jesus said, the greatest command is to love God with all your heart and to love your neighbor. If you can't love God with all your heart and understand and really receive that revelation, then how are you going to love your neighbor, right? So the prosperity, the goal, the riches, I think is knowing Him, right? Peter, the revelation of Peter knowing the Father, right? On this rock I will build my church. On the revelation of you knowing God, right? Because flesh and blood did not reveal this to you, but the Father above, right? So Peter knew who the Father was. Peter knew, right? The Holy Spirit told Peter that Jesus is Lord. That, I feel like, is the riches, because out of that will come everything else. So that's my 2 cents. Peace.